Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on Mercury in Taurus that happens from the 31st of May this year. Mercury enters out of bounds in Taurus on the 12th of June, and then Mercury moves into Gemini while still out of bounds on the 14th of June. So I'm doing a whole separate audio about Mercury out of bounds. So yeah, here I'm going to talk about Mercury in Taurus. So Mercury in Taurus kind of like pushes us to take a more technical, logical, methodical approach to communication and decision making. It pushes us to ground our thoughts in practicality and think more in terms of longer term goals and sort of like create sort of like harmony within our relationships. And to do this, we are encouraged to express ourselves with truth, patience and stability. On the karmic level, though I'm going to talk about it in a lot more depth later on, it presents an opportunity for us to revisit past actions and rectify any lingering doubts or unresolved issues. It invites us to reflect on the consequences of our words and deeds and prompts us to choose our communication wisely to sort of like develop positive karma for the future. On the practical level, it wants us to focus on getting tangible, results that we can touch, especially in our financial matters and communication. So it's a great energy to plan deliberately, make solid investments and make good decisions in our business or personal ventures, especially those to do with communication and intellect and science and technical information. So yeah, and also, paying attention to detail and just being more focused in what we want to go after. On the collective, worldly, materialistic level, themes of stability, wealth, accumulation and material possessions may dominate discussions on social media and at dinner tables and stuff like that as well. So yeah, politically it can influence diplomatic communication, trade agreements, economic policies. Politicians and leaders may find themselves prioritising pragmatic solutions and concrete results in their decision-making processes. From a psychological standpoint, Mercury in Taurus encourages us to cultivate a sense of inner peace and emotional stability. It prompts us to slow down our thoughts, practice mindfulness and nurture a sense of contentment with, what we have in the present moment, with our lives or what it is right now. This doesn't mean we can't make plans for the future and stuff, but just to appreciate what we have now, and also to explore the deeper layers of our psyche, our psychological and emotional subconscious and conscious thoughts, and connect with our inner values and beliefs. On a holistic spiritual level, Mercury in Taurus pushes us to find a balance between our rational mind and deeper instincts. It pushes us to listen to our intuition while also listening to our logic and reason and using these to make decisions, and also, allowing ourselves to be open to inner peace and harmony and, new growth. Esoterically, it highlights the need for us to connect with nature and to speak with intention and do things with intention, pondering, thinking about each word and action, like the word precious gems before sharing it with the world, just being more deliberate in our communication, and just to on the symbolic level appreciate slowness and steadiness and slowing down in life and patience. Just as a gardener patiently tends to their plants, we are encouraged to nurture our ideas and relationships with care and dedication, knowing that greatness takes time to blossom. Creatively, this transit inspires us to infuse our creative projects with beauty, sensuality and a touch of luxury. It encourages us to explore art forms that engage our senses and invoke feelings of comfort and security. So just imagine like a painter using rich, earthy tones to capture the essence of stability and abundance, or a musician composing melodies that resonate with, the deep-rooted emotions within us. Emotionally, Mercury in Taurus invites us to dig into our feelings with patience and tenderness and express ourselves authentically from the heart and embrace being vulnerable and see it as, a strength rather than a weakness, our emotions and our psychological states, And this transit also reminds us that authentic communication involves not only words but also the emotions that lie beneath the words. It pushes us to listen not just with our ears but with our hearts, creating a deeper connection with ourselves and others. So as we navigate, Mercury in Taurus, we can do so by grounding ourselves in nature, embracing the slow rhythms of life, and cultivate a sense of peace and stability within ourselves, which sort of like supports this energy. And just, honour both our intuition, our instincts, and logic and rationality, merging deductive reasoning and thinking with, intuitive feeling. So now I'm just going to talk about the pros and cons and best use, just summing them up so we can focus on those. So, practical communication, people can express themselves more straightforwardly and be more direct, and this can make it easier to get ideas across effectively. And, because Mercury in Taurus provides ground for grounded and clearer communication, it can make us more thoughtful in our decision making processes as we become more deliberate, thinking through our actions and words before we say and do them, and weighing up our options and carefully, considering long-term consequences. And it can just make us more reliable in our communication as well, and consistent in it, and messages are conveyed, said in a stable and dependable manner, and this can reduce misunderstanding and misinterpretations of what is meant by what is said. But negatively, it can make us stubborn, as we can be too rigid in our thinking, and we can be resistant to new ideas and change, and this can get in the way of open-mindedness and being flexible in our communication. We can be slow in processing things, while deliberate action and thought can be strength. It can also lead to a slower decision-making process, and overthinking or getting stuck in analysis paralysis might get in the way, impede our progress or timely responses, and this can cause problems in our relationships and stuff. Also, we can have a resistance to change, so we may find it challenging to adapt to new information or changes in communication styles, and this rigidity can get in the way of growth and innovation or discussions or learning processes. And the best use of this energy is to ground ourselves, to plan and organise, to go over the details, be meticulous in research and doing things and saying things, thinking before we do them. So just create detailed strategies and plans, outlining concrete steps towards your goal. So, just write everything down, what you want to do. Like, so for instance, if you want to create a better life for yourself and you've got self-destructive habits, what if you drink too much, eat too much, spend too much, but you want to create more stability in your life, then you have to write a detailed plan of how you're going to slowly, because fast change don't last, give up or moderate your overspending, overeating, drinking and stuff like that as well. So this is about thinking and being realistic about what it takes to bring change into your life, and knowing that it will take many failures, and you have to commit to showing up each day and getting up after each fall, after each failure. So also building trust with others and ourselves through communication by listening to our thoughts or listening to others can strengthen relationships and our inner stability. Also use this time to be more patient and resilient and think your actions through, and allow yourself to think before you respond and react, because this can reduce conflicts within and without, So just remember to stay open to new perspectives while staying true to your own principles, standards, and balancing stability with flexibility to ensure that you grow during this time. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects that Mercury is making when it goes into Taurus this year, and how they sort of affect Mercury in Taurus. So Mercury makes a semi-sextile to Mars. Jupiter and Uranus, so these energies will kind of influence Mercury all the time. It's in Taurus this year, so it allows us to be more assertive and quick in our thinking and make us more sharp and alert. But it's not, because it's a separating aspect, it's not so intense, so it can be like coming down from a high, and this can lead to missed opportunities or hasty decisions. So just, as I said earlier, think before you do, and balance the urge, the inner need to act swiftly, with the need to, sort of like ground ourselves. Taurus wants us to think before we do. Mercury's conjunction is applying, so communication skills are sort of supercharged, or we're given the power to be really good in the way we write and say things and, think about things. So this energy can be like having a brainstorming session with a wise mentor. Ideas can flow more freely, optimism can soar, and grand plans can take shape. Because it's applying, it means the energy, has been building up, and it's about to go separating, but it's still potent and gives us those opportunities for growth and learning. But we just need to watch out for overwhelming ourselves or others, being too overconfident in our ideas, and just to make sure that we pay attention to detail and ensure that our big ideas are practical, that we can see them through, they're just not pie in the sky things, because Mercury rules Gemini and Sagittarius, and they're known to kind of like be mutable, sort of like fire and air energy, so just watch out for that. Mercury's conjunction to Uranus allows us to be more spontaneous, to have unconventional thoughts and breakthroughs, and to sort of like, just start new things and be innovative and be free with our ideas. But we just need to watch out for leaving behind a trail of unfinished projects or scattered thoughts. And to embrace this energy productively, we have to use Uranus's brilliance while also grounding it in the practicality of Taurus. So ultimately, it's about finding a balance between creativity and stability, allowing for fresh ideas to flourish while also ensuring that they are sort of carried out, implemented effectively. And the separating nature of Mercury's conjunction to Uranus needs us to focus and to consolidate, to reduce our ideas. So write all the ideas that you come up with down, but then, at a later date, or now if you can, think about the ones that can be realistic and, get rid of the ones that are realistic that you can commit and have the passion to carry out, or need to be carried out as well, because, not everything's pleasurable but are needed. Like, for instance, if you need to say sorry or give forgiveness to someone, it may not be pleasurable in the moment, but it may be needed for you to move on. So, just allow yourself to, be open to new ideas and embrace both the innovative spark of Uranus and the logical, more well thought out strategic approach of Taurus. Also, there's a stellium, which involves the moon, Saturn and the midheaven, which are all in Aquarius, and Neptune that's in Pisces, that affect Mercury in Taurus. So a stellium happens when 3 or more planets align in the same zodiac sign, degree, orb or house. So this energy can kind of amplify the energy of the planets and the zodiac sign they're all in, or the zodiac signs they're all in. So positively, it can make us more focused, and it can be like having a team of experts all working towards the same objective. So it can like having a powerhouse of energy pushing us forward. But negatively, the stellium in Taurus can make us overwhelmed by the intensity of all this energy in the same or in close proximity by the degree orb, and this can lead to us doing things that are counterproductive and having too much of a good thing, and tunnel vision where we ignore details and become stubborn. And we've got Taurus energy making us stubborn here anyway. So The moon represents our emotions and intuition. Saturn brings structure and responsibility, and the midheaven signifies our ambitions and public image. So all of these are mingling in the innovative vibes of Aquarius, and then Neptune in Pisces adds a touch of dreaminess and spirituality. So it can be, but you're wondering, how does this star-studded party impact transiting Mercury in Taurus? Well, Taurus is all about stability, practicality. So imagine the moon, sun and the midheaven, which are all in Aquarius, blending in a sort of like cloak of innovation, responsibility and ambition. And Neptune pops in, comes into the mix, sprinkling a dose of dreaminess and spiritual essence into this cosmic concoction. So how does this all, this celestial commotion affect Mercury in Taurus? Well, because Taurus thrives on stability, practicality and steadfastness, being focused and determined, when it's, the stellium is happening, it can feel like it's caught between a rock and a mystical sort of like place. The practicality of Taurus clashes with the dreamy vibes of Neptune, because when someone with strong Taurus energy in their natal chart believes in anything spiritual, it's going to be in a grounded way. They may get to their beliefs through gardening, working with nature in some way, So yes, Taurus does spirituality, but it does it in a grounded way, whereas Neptune, it's more ethereal and floaty and dreamy. So when this happens, we may find ourselves torn between sticking to our grounded nature, or the grounded nature Mercury in Taurus wants us, and embracing the urge for change brought by the Aquarian influence. And this can lead to a period of internal conflict where our logical side battles with our intuitive side, and tradition wrestles with modernism and innovation and newness. So on the bright side, it can push us to explore new ways of thinking and communicating, blending stability with a touch of creativity, and it can encourage us to find innovative yet practical solutions to our problems, offering us the chance to take unique perspectives that can bridge the gap between tradition and progress. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the karma, the karmic meanings, karmic lessons, and past life implications of transiting Mercury in Taurus. So on the karmic level, Mercury in Taurus places emphasis on speaking truthfully and reliably. We may remember past life experiences in which our words had significant consequences on our material possessions, affairs, matters, money, status and stuff, and on our relationships as well. So karmically, it reminds us of the importance of learning to communicate effectively with others and ourselves, while communicate more effectively with others and ourselves, while also valuing being stable and authentic. And other past life echoes, dreams or conscious or subconscious memories that could manifest as like a tendency to be stubborn or rigid in our communication styles, and this can place obstacles while we are in conversation with ourselves and others. So we have to push past this. We have to open up to other people's opinions and ideas, and ask ourselves why we may believe our truth is the only truth in the world, when there's so many different people, cultures, ways of expressing ourselves, and just pushing past our own values and barriers to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and others, and being flexible and adaptable when sharing thoughts and ideas and listening to other people's ideas and stuff. Other past life experiences linked to financial matters in our artistic creative expression or sensual pleasures, where we may have worked in trades related to craftsmanship, agriculture, farming or finance, may also sort of like surface in our memories, emphasising the need for practical skills in our current lives and how they can help us gain a deeper connection to the physical world. Also, you know, some of you may sort of like have lessons around, you know, appreciating beauty, as I said earlier, cultivating discipline and patience in communication, and honouring the value of your material possessions, or just being grateful for the things that you have, you know, enjoying the simplicities of life. You may not have enough money to do the things you want to do, but, you know, thinking about what you can do and making the best of your time and other resources that you do have. So we can also think about how we handle money, communicate about money, how we use our creativity, how we misuse our creativity, especially around communication. You know, what content do we pull out there in the world? Do we use our words to enrich ourselves and others, or put them down? Do our thoughts inspire us, nurture us, you know, guide us, or do we numb ourselves from our thoughts, and why do we do these sort of things? So overall, Mercury in Taurus can bring lessons related to patience, perseverance, and being more grounded in our inner and external communication. And we are challenged to express ourselves more deliberately and consistently, and learning the karmic importance of expressing ideas with thoughtfulness, and, you know, taking into consideration other people's feelings and whether what you're actually saying is truth. You know, Mercury in Taurus ultimately wants us to be more factual and truthful in our communication, and more focused in it as well. So now I'm going to talk about relationships and how Mercury in Taurus affects our family, friendship, co-worker, committed and hookup relationships. So in our family relationships, it can make our communication more stable and grounded, and we can find it more easier to express our thoughts and emotions to each other in a practical sort of like way, and this can lead to deeper understanding and connection. Negatively, because of the, you know, the stubborn energy, this can lead to fixed opinions and stubbornness and resistance to change within family dynamics, and this can create conflicts if we are lacking in being open and lacking, you know. So in our friendships, again, it allows for honest and reliable communication. We can find it easier to have meaningful conversations with our friends, offer and accept practical advice and support each other through thick and thin. But negatively, because Taurus is a slow moving energy, and it can cause delays or difficulties in making plans with friends. Miscommunications or misunderstandings can come up if one party is not willing to adapt, sort of like not willing to accept unexpected changes, you know. So one friend can be, no, we always do this, or what's this so on Wednesday, and another friend can be like, no, let's try something new, sort of thing, you know. So in terms of co-worker relationships, it can just make us more effective in communication, and it promotes a practical approach to solving our problems and working with each other, and, you know, just kind of, it can bring a sense of trust and productivity in the workplace and stability, and help us to work with each other more easily. And it can also sort of like negatively make us sort of like people resistant to new ideas and methods in work related discussions and activities, and people can be stubborn or unwilling to compromise, and this can get in the way of progress and innovation. In terms of committed couples, it can strengthen our emotional bonds through honest and practical communication. It can just make us more grounded and secure in our connection, and this can lead to a deeper understanding of each other's needs and sense of stability in relationship. This period can also be sort of like favourable for discussing long-term plans and financial goals, and building a strong foundation for the future together. So negatively, if committed couples lack flexibility or openness in their communication, the stubborn energy of Taurus can just cause an unwillingness to compromise and create tension between partners, and this can just, you know, things can get icky. So it's important to be adaptable and understanding during this time to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings or power struggles. Okay, so in hookup relationships, people can be more practical and honest in them, because this energy encourages clearer communication and intentions and desires of being open about them and not misleading, and this can be satisfying to everyone involved. And grounded nature of Taurus brings a sense of comfort and ease in casual sort of connections. It can just make them feel better, people can just be more open, and this can just make hookups more pleasurable right now. But on the negative, this can lead to a reluctance to explore new ways of doing things in hookups and dynamics and maybe positions or techniques, whatever, or to step out of the comfort zone of it, and this can lead to missed opportunities for growth or limited experiences within the relationships. And people in hookup relationships must remain open-minded and willing to adapt to new situations, ensuring both parties have a fulfilling and enriching experience, avoiding being rigid and embracing being flexible, and this can lead to a more expansive and enjoyable connection, allowing for exploration and personal, ensuring that everyone in the hookup, are allowed to explore their ideas or have them heard out, and this can, make you grow in hookup connections and stuff. So now I'm just going to talk about how Mercury in Taurus affects career, personal, spiritual and educational development in a bit more detail. So yeah, in terms of career, again, as I said, it allows us to focus on details, and this can, lead to results we can see. People working in finance, for example, may find that they are really good with analysing complex data right now with more precision. Negatively, there can be more resistance to change, as I said, to adapting new technologies in the workplace or methods of working, because people are attached to the old ways of doing things, and this risks us becoming stagnant and missing out on innovative strategies. So, you could have a talk at work, or someone could say something and you may dismiss what they say because you've been doing this for 10, 20 years, I know what I'm doing. But, be open to newness can reduce your time and make you more efficient. So try not to be resistant to change. In another example, someone who works in marketing can be hesitant to exploring a new digital sort of like marketing platform despite its potential for growth. And a lot of people are resisting AI right now and stuff, but instead of just resisting something, do your research, make up your own mind rather than follow what other people are telling you to believe about anything. In terms of personal development, Mercury in Taurus creates practical communication and decision making, making it easier for individuals to express themselves more clearly and make good choices, sound judgment, and this can increase our relationships with others and ourselves and our personal growth, because someone may find it easier to have open and honest conversations with their loved ones at this time, and this can bring us closer together, as I said when I was talking about relationships in depth. But negatively, because we can be stubborn to new things, this can just lead to missed opportunities for personal and relationship development, So we have to be open to challenge, because we can find it hard to, or challenging to compromise or see beyond our own point of view right now, which, can get in the way of growth and understanding, and at the very worst, damage our relationships. In terms of spiritual development, it allows us to be grounding in our spiritual practices. So it's just good for spiritual research or doing anything that requires us to, be focused and be grounded. Also, it allows us to deepen our connection with the material world and find spiritual meaning in everyday activities. So, you may be very self-reflective when you're washing your dishes or hoovering your home or dusting and tidying up, just simple things can just, you can just get that aha moment or just feel the deeper connection. So, for example, someone who practices mindfulness meditation may experience increased focus and presence during this time, but negatively, people can become too materialistic or overly focused on, tangible outcomes. But this can help you lose sight of the deeper spiritual aspects of life, and this can result in a lack of alignment with your true spiritual path and values, and this can lead to feelings of emptiness or disconnection, and this can lead to feelings of emptiness or disconnection despite, gaining material outward success or achievements. So it's important to balance being practical and self-reflective and inner growth with, material growth to maintain a holistic sort of like spiritual and overall well-being. So in terms of educational development, we may experience an increased sense of practicality and persistence in our educational goals. Yeah, this energy can be good for structured learning, where we may excel in subjects that require focus and attention to detail, or scientific or technical or any other kind of intense thinking method sort of. So yeah, someone, for example, who studies finance or engineering may find it easier to, grasp, understand complex concepts and apply them effectively. Negatively, there can be a tendency towards resistance to new ways of thinking and doing things, and students may struggle with adapting to different teaching methods or exploring unconventional ideas, which can get in the way of their overall educational growth and limit their academic potential. So, just be open. If something's hard, it takes longer to learn, don't give up, try a different way. Learning's all about finding techniques that work for you. Only because a learning technique works for someone else doesn't mean it won't work for you. Only because you don't understand something in a way that someone teaches it to you doesn't mean you can't understand it. You just need to find a way or be taught in a way that helps you to understand, and this is why a lot of in the past people use myths and parables to give deeper meanings in more of a playful way. So anyway, so now I'm going to finish up by talking about the best things for creatives, professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers, loggers and singles to do when Mercury's in Taurus. So again, this can be a time when communication may slow down but can become more deliberate and practical. Creatives can benefit by focusing on, tangible, creative and artistic projects that require patience and attention to detail. Professionals can use this period to refine their work processes and communicate with a grounded and reliable approach. Entrepreneurs can take advantage of this transit by strategizing long-term financial goals with being cautious yet persistent in their mindset. Alternative healers can find success by emphasizing the importance of earthy elements into our day-to-day life, like grounding ourselves, spending time in nature, herbal remedies and alternative treatments and therapies. Lovers can deepen our connections by expressing love through sensual touch, indulging in activities that stimulate the senses, such as cooking together or enjoying sort of like nature walks. Singles, on the other hand, can use this time to reflect on their values and long-term goals in their relationships, ensuring that they seek partners who sort of like align with their practical and stable outlook. It's essential during Mercury in Taurus to be sort of like methodical and patient in all communication and decision-making processes. Rushing through tasks or conversations may lead to misunderstandings or overlooked details. So by embodying the qualities of determination and reliability associated with Taurus, we can sort of like navigate Mercury in Taurus with more success and efficiency. So overall, Mercury in Taurus can lead to a period of growth and productivity for for us across all areas of our lives, especially the ones that we choose to focus on, whether you're single, you're creative, a professional, entrepreneur, whatever it is you're doing. By aligning your actions with the grounded and practical energy of Taurus, you can set yourself up for success and fulfillment during this time, especially in all things communication and third house. So yeah, take care, and that's the end of this special on Mercury in Taurus.